There are moments in music when all of America seems to pause for a single breath. And this morning, inside our national newsroom, we're witnessing exactly one of those moments. Taylor Swift has just set a record that no contemporary artist has touched in decades. But the real question is this: how does an album that appeared for just one single week in an entire year end up becoming the #1 album of 2025? And why is this so significant that it forces us to reconsider the way the music industry operates in this new era? Today, we're talking about The Life of a Showgirl, the album that dominated the 2025 Billboard 200 year-end chart after only 7 days of activity. An achievement that sounds impossible, yet becomes completely logical once you understand what Taylor Swift represents: a culture, a force of influence, a community, and more importantly, a new definition of success. In a market more competitive than ever, where streaming has rewritten every rule, and where listeners demand more than fleeting hits, Taylor Swift doesn't just survive, she redefines the game. When an artist becomes the only person in history to hold the year-end #1 album 5 times, and the first in nearly half a century to do it for 2 consecutive years with 2 different albums, that is no longer just an accomplishment, it's a signal of an era. In the next few minutes, we'll dive deeper into the story behind this phenomenon. What creates the endurance of Taylor Swift? Why does every one of her releases turn America into a cultural conversation? And what does this success say about us, the listeners, the witnesses to a music industry in transformation? Share your thoughts in the comments. Is this the clearest Taylor Swift era we've ever seen? Looking back at the entire journey of The Life of a Showgirl, the first thing we must acknowledge is this: never before has an album caused such an explosive impact in just 1 week of release. On October 18th, 2025, the album appeared on the Billboard 200, shot straight to #1, and immediately set a modern-era record: 4 million equivalent album units in its first week in the US, a number so large it forced even the toughest critics to pause and reconsider. Because those 4 million units didn't simply reflect fan power, they signaled a cultural event. The strange part is this: 1 week. Just 1 week within Billboard's year-long tracking period, stretching from the previous October to this October. And yet, that single week was enough for The Life of a Showgirl to finish as the #1 year-end album of 2025. This almost never happens, and when something unprecedented becomes real, we have to ask, why? To answer that, we need to step back and look at the bigger picture. Taylor Swift has dominated the year-end Billboard 200 at key milestones throughout her career: Fearless in 2009, 1989 in 2015, Reputation in 2018, The Tortured Poets Department in 2024, and now The Life of a Showgirl in 2025. 5 times at #1, more than any artist in modern music history. And more impressively, this is the first time since Elton John in 1974 to 1975 that an artist has gone back-to-back with 2 different albums. Between Elton John then and Taylor Swift now, only 2 artists came close: Michael Jackson with Thriller and Adele with 21. But they did it with the same album stretched across 2 years. Taylor, she did it with 2 completely different works. That reveals an undeniable truth: she doesn't recycle success, she creates new ones. But the phenomenon isn't just in the numbers, it's in how Taylor Swift enters the music market like an independent cultural state. Her albums aren't just music, they're events, messages, statements of a generation. The Life of a Showgirl is no exception. It is a tribute to female performers, a reflection of stage life, and a blend of glamour and isolation that artists often carry silently. The fact that the album only existed for 1 week, yet was powerful enough to rule the entire year, shows a harsh but inspiring truth. It isn't the number of weeks that defines impact, it's the intensity of the moment. Like lightning, it doesn't need to last long, it just needs to strike hard enough to illuminate the entire sky. And Taylor Swift somehow always delivers that lightning. In the streaming era, where listeners can skim through thousands of songs in a day, Taylor does the opposite. She forces audiences to slow down, feel more, and listen to the story behind every track. Her albums are designed like novels, with an opening, conflict, climax, and resolution. This means her impact doesn't come from casual listeners, but from an audience that listens, reads, feels, and participates. We also can't ignore the context. The Tortured Poets Department, the album that topped 2024, still finishes 2025 at number 6, which means that for 2 consecutive years, Taylor has 2 albums in the top tier, a clear demonstration of longevity and creative depth. At the same time, country star Morgan Wallen is the only artist close to her momentum, with 2 albums in the top 10. But in terms of cultural influence, the gap is unmistakable. Many experts emphasize this. Taylor Swift is not just dominating music, she's redefining what it means to be an artist in the 21st century. In an age with data and streams can be artificially inflated, Swift creates something no algorithm can replace: audience trust. And we can't forget another fascinating detail. The album was released at the very moment Taylor entered a brand new chapter, an engagement, a documentary, and a series of behind-the-scenes stories, closely followed by Hollywood and global media. All of that became emotional fuel, making the album not just music, but pure pop culture. When we look at the 2025 rankings and how Billboard tracks data from October to October, we understand something clearly. The system plays no favorites. What Taylor achieved simply surpasses every conventional metric. But here's the part that lingers with me. Her success once again shows that Taylor Swift is not just a star in the spotlight. She is a storyteller, someone who delivers. Looking back at the entire story, it's easy to understand why the life of a showgirl became not just a highlight of 2025, but a milestone in Taylor Swift's decade-long artistic evolution. Not because of the record-breaking numbers, though they are undeniably impressive. Not simply because this album made her the only artist in history to claim 5 year-end Billboard 200 #1 titles, but because it reminds us of something simple and profound. Lasting success isn't built on luck, it's built on honesty and on a genuine connection with listeners. Taylor Swift always tells her story as if she's sitting right beside us on an old wooden chair beneath the warm glow of a yellow lamp. She talks about grand stages, backstage wounds, and sincere dreams. And maybe that's why each of her albums feels like a memoir, a reminder that behind the spotlight is someone who dares to love, to hurt, to rise, and to begin again. The life of a showgirl isn't a story about glitter, it's a story about courage, about stepping on stage as if it were the first time, even after hundreds of performances. About an album that, despite having only 1 week of activity all year, still managed to reach millions of hearts, a reminder that the shortest moments can sometimes carry the greatest weight. And at the end of this journey, perhaps the most important question isn't about charts at all, but about each of us. In your own life, what is your showgirl moment? What pushes you to step into the light and live fully? If this story gave you something, inspiration, belief, or simply a moment of understanding, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. And if you'd like to continue exploring stories like this, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next report.